Hi guys, welcome to Smart Being by Masood. This is the second video, second episode, and I'm really excited because we are going to provide another script in Dynamo together, and it's really enjoying for me. As you may concern and understand, through our projects in Beam in Revit, we usually import or link our CAD files in Revit and then starting modeling based on that CAD file. So this is a normal approach and process in our project, and we are doing that a lot of times through a single project or even multiple projects. So that means a lot of time and maybe a little bit this process would be annoying or boring for us if we are doing that a lot of time. So using Dynamo, we are going to provide a script once in a life and then using that code unlimited times. But before going to Revit and Dynamo and starting our coding, I'm now talk and explain about something really important in the world of the programming. Before doing any code in the Dynamo, or it doesn't matter in any other programming language, even in Python or other languages, it's true that this is a visual programming Dynamo, but there's no difference in this point that I'm going to explain. Uh, Before any coding, in order to prohibit from any confusion or getting lost through our way in the coding, we need to have a clear and appropriate pipeline in our mind, or doesn't matter on the paper, in order to clarify our way about the coding. I mean, define or determine different steps, different phases of the coding. So today, as an example, before doing anything in Dynamo or Revit, I'm going to do this, let's say, Dynamo story. I call it Dynamo story for you guys, step by step together. And I'm sure that this trick will help you a lot in order you to do your upcoming projects with the Dynamo or other languages. Okay, I wrote this pipeline before, so I'm going to explain it. Okay, the title is to import our CAD files and then draw our, let's say, model based on that CAD file. It doesn't matter, it's a beam, it's a column, it's a foundation, floor, or anything else. So what are the steps in Dynamo? What would be? First, import or link the CAD file. We have to do that at first. Through Dynamo, we have to select this CAD file which is linked or imported in the Revit. So we have to select that CAD file in the Dynamo. Then obviously in our CAD files, there would be a lot of different layers for other and different objects. That's column, beams, maybe you draw your foundation or your floors with a different layer. It's obviously a very well organized CAD file. So we have to select the right layer. For example, if we want to create a columns in the Revit, we have to select the layer of the drawing of the column in the CAD file, the right layer. Later I show you in the AutoCAD and elaborate this point more. Then after the selected right layer, we have to create those layers and make them curves in the Dynamo. After that, we need to find a node in order to convert those curves in the Dynamo through real objects, or maybe let's say Revit objects, and that's done. It will be finished. So this is the general story of our coding today. You can do that for any other scripting in Dynamo for your upcoming projects. Okay, cut to the scene. I'm going to start a project in Revit and AutoCAD. Here I linked a CAD file in the Revit. I would rather to link the CAD files in the Revit because of the reason if you make any changes in the source of this CAD file, and then if you just reload this CAD file in the Revit, the changes will be updated here in the Revit. But if you import the CAD file, obviously it's not happening. Okay, let's have a look to the CAD file also in the Revit. Here, okay, this is our plan, full of a lot of objects, different objects, the column, beam, the furniture, maybe anything maybe included in your plan. So today I'm going to create the grids, the vertical and the horizontal grids of this CAD file in the Revit. But it doesn't matter. You can do it for any other object through your projects. Okay, as you can know, maybe we have to do two tasks. First, draw the grids in the Revit, horizontally and vertically, and then also assign the right name. As you can see here, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 numbers on the horizontal ones, and A, B, C, D, the letters on the vertical ones. Okay. Before doing anything, as you may notice, all these grids are the straight one, so there is no curve or any other shapes of the grids. But maybe in your project you have a grid with the curved line. So I'm going to add a curved line here. Doesn't matter, for example, here like something like this, and then using match properties, assign the properties of the grids to this line. And it doesn't matter if we have a number or anything, a name for it, because we are going to do that in Revit forever. Okay, I save this file, minimize it. Here in the Revit I do not have that curve link, so I'm going to the manage links. We're going to the CAD format, here, and then reload it. Okay, and now we have that curved grid in the Revit also. Consider another point in the CAD file. As I mentioned before, there would be a lot of different layers with different properties. For example, here, this boundary with this layer, and if we select the grid, we have this one and also these layers here, as you can see. Okay, every single object has its own layer. So we have to keep in mind the name of these layers later in the Dynamo. Let's get back to the Revit and Dynamo. Okay, we're going to Dynamo. I've already opened the Dynamo before. This is the whole of the codes that I've provided. I'm going to explain it step by step. Okay, as I mentioned before, we need to select our CAD file. So we need this node, select model elements. I've selected. Through the Revit, I select our model. Here, run. There you go. So this is our CAD file. Today, in order to provide our codes, we need two different packages that we need to install them. First one, bmorph nodes, this one, and the second one is Spring, here. So before doing anything in your Dynamo, please install these two packages through this tab, packages, and search for a package. So here, for example, bmorph, this one, and you can find an appropriate version of this package for your Dynamo, because, for example, my Dynamo is for the Revit 2022, and you have to find out the right version for your Dynamo and then install and done. Because I've already installed both of them, so I'm not going to do that anymore. So using this package, we need to, from this CAD file, we need to export just the layers, because we need 2 layers and then filter those layers. So through this package, go to the last category here and import instance. There is a node called layer names. As you can see in the description, get the full list of the layer names from the CAD links or import. So I've already imported here. If I connect these 2 nodes and run, there would be, forget about that one. So there would be these layers. Here we have the name of the layers, and if you remember, the name of our grid layers are the grid node. So we need to get this one. Here, a simple and easiest way is to, for example, write a code block here and insert the right indices here. But as we are going to use this code later using the Dynamo player, and maybe in your CAD files there will be other layers with other names, so you need to have a list and select the specific layer in your CAD file. In order to do that, using the other package that I mentioned before, this one, Spring, there is a useful and common note that maybe later in the upcoming codes, upcoming videos, I'm using this code a lot, which is called list dropdown. If you just write here dropdown, this one. Select one list item by a drop-down combo box. The optional names input will override object representation. So what this node is going to do is importing a list like here that we have. We can select a specific item that we want from this list. So what are the other options? The names and custom. We have to, because this is an input when you run the Dynamo player, this is a question. This node will be asked you automatically when you run the Dynamo player. So we have to put a name for this, let's say question for this node, which is called, for example, I called here a select layer. You can put any other things, and also a custom message when it's going to ask you the question. What would be the question? Here I put for both of them same script select layer because it doesn't matter. And what is this? This is a reset. The import of this option would be a boolean, a true or false. Because we are going to run our project in the Revit or here even in Dynamo, every time I run the code, if I put the false, this node will not be asked me anymore. Just once time it asks me, and after that nothing happens. But if I put it in true, every time that I run the code, the question will be asked me automatically. After that, if I run it now and put it on the true, for example, run. Okay, now I have to select my layer. For example, grid. Select it. So now this is grid, it's selected, and then we need to convert this selected layer from the CAD file to the curves, as we already mentioned in our Dynamo story. We selected our CAD file, we selected our right layer. Now we need to create the curves from this layer in the Dynamo. So we need the curve. We need a node called curves from the CAD layer. This is also from this package, the morph here. This one, curves from CAD layer. If you select this node, here we need to also select the layer name and also the elements. Then I put run. There you go. Now we have the curves and the grids here in the Dynamo. So later we need to separate these lines because we have also a straight line and also we have an arc. So maybe in your project you would have other arcs or maybe any other types of the lines for the grid. So we need to filter and separate them. In order to do that, here using string split, because here we have the objects. As you can see here, we have one arc, the type, and other ones are lines. So I need this node in order to separate these strings. For example, I put the separator dot. I've explained this node in the previous video, so you can get back to that video and see the full explanation. But the general description would be it will be separate the scripts that we are putting for this node, and the output would be like this one. Autodesk design script, geometry, and arc. And if you compare here, as you can see, line by line, we need to just use this transpose, which I have explained before for you guys in the previous videos, to, for example, have the arc and the line together, Autodesk together, geometry and geometry together. So as you can see, the first list would be Autodesk. We don't need them. Then design scripts, and then geometry, and this one is important for, because using this last list we are able to filter our curves using a filter by bool mask. So I use this node equals and I input this list for the last one, and then using the script like arc, I'm going to evaluate which of these items are equal to arcs. Then using the filter by bool mask, here the true ones would be arc, and the false one would be the lines. Using this one because our list would be here. Okay, now in the last step we need to make these curves to the real grids in the Revit. So if you search grid by arc or grid by line, here if I write grid, you would have by arc and by line here. That's why we need to filter and separate the lines and arcs from each other. because if you just want to use the grid by line here, the curved line would not create it in a right shape in the Revit. So we need both of them. So that in would be the arc here, and out would be lines here. If I now run and go back to Revit, yes. If I just, for example, I want to hide the cat file, yes. These are upgrades in the Revit file, as you can see. The vertical ones, the horizontal ones, and so on. But as you may concern, the name of the grids are not right. Not in the order, and all of them are the numbers. So as I promised you guys, in the next video I will provide another code in order to just make correct the name of these grids. But before do that, we need to do something else more here in this code, because we want to change the names in the right way in the another code. We need to just assign a random or something like that for the name. So using the set by parameter by name, and I put the elements here, all the grids, I make a list, a unique list of these two curve and straight grids. I make them a one list here, and using these elements here, and assign a single random names for the parameter of the name. Now if I run that, for example, I wrote m string plus a variable, and the variables would be the number of the grids. There we would have a random name, M8, M7, anything else that you want to assign to the grid names. That's why we are doing this one, because in the next and upcoming video we are going to change the names in the right way. So that's it, and now we created the grids in the Revit. I really enjoyed today's tutorial, guys, and it was interesting for me providing this script. In the next video, the second part of this video, we will analyze and provide another code in Dynamo to name the horizontal and vertical grids that we created here. Please put your opinion and your ideas about this video, and if you have any question or any challenge or any idea, new idea for the upcoming tutorials, please put your opinion in the comments. You can also send message through email or even in the LinkedIn to me. I would be welcome to contact with you guys and collaborate in your projects. Maybe you are working in a company or office and needs some autonomous framework like Dynamo scripts in order to make easier or efficient your work set, your framework. Thank you guys, and see you next video.